I want to welcome all of you to our program today. I want to thank all of the parents that are here with us today. This whole, to my left side, is full with the parents. We have some that are in the very back. The last couple of rows, are available for parents in the back. We do have the first three rows, if you'll notice here, are vacant, other than some of our straggler teachers that are going to be giving out some awards here in a minute. But that is for our juniors who will be moving forward at the end of the program to take their seats as seniors. But today is our honors day for our 7th through 11th grade students. It's always one of my favorite days of the year because we get to recognize those students that have worked really hard to accomplish a lot of their goals that they set at the beginning of the year. It's something that I always try to put a lot of importance on and to stress doing well academically. I always try to tell the students, don't be embarrassed, don't be ashamed of making good grades. We want you to make good grades. We want you to strive for excellence. We want you to be leaders of your own learning. We want to instill those soft skills that it takes to be successful in life. And a lot of those are the very same things that it takes to be successful in the classroom. And we're here today to recognize those students and to honor those students that have been successful. Tonight, we'll be recognizing the seniors. This is bugging me, so I'm going to close it. So everybody here knows I have a little OCD. Tonight, we're going to be recognizing the seniors. And while tonight's group of seniors is one of our smaller graduating classes, I believe there's only 44 that will be graduating tonight, we will be giving out almost $1 million in scholarship money for tonight's graduating class. It is a very well-accomplished class, from athletic scholarships, military, and academic. I believe that we have almost a quarter, maybe over 25% of the students that will be receiving scholarships to further their education or further their careers in some form or fashion. And that is a very impressive number, because I can guarantee you, and I don't mean to talk bad about anybody else, but I can guarantee you that you can go down the road to Jemison, or you can go up the road, down the road to Clanton with their 200, 250 graduates, and they don't have 25% of their class that's getting college scholarships tonight. That says a lot about the work and the effort and those soft skills that I was just talking about that it takes to be successful in the classroom and in life. And these students that are here today, these juniors that's going to be moving forward, we expect the same from you next year. And I can tell you, this group of juniors is outstanding, an excellent group, okay? As well as many of the others that we'll see here today. So I want to thank all of you for coming, because I can tell you that's a direct reflection upon their parents, the grandparents, the significant others in their lives, and the importance that you put on these things. So I want to say thank you for that. At the athletic banquet last night, Mr. Mims spoke, and he said the person that has the most influence on a child is their parents. Next is the teacher, but first and foremost, the parents and what goes home at home. So I thank you for everything that you do to allow us to have the opportunity to work with your children and allow them the opportunity to be successful. And we do believe that every child has an opportunity to be successful at something. College isn't for everyone. We have some tonight that'll be going into the military. We have some tonight that's going to be going on to vocational schools or some other form of training. We have some that, when we start back to school in the fall, will be making more money than I am, as some sort of mechanic or welder or some other field. But whatever it is, do something to be successful. And don't be shy or ashamed about that. Because I can tell you some of these, and we don't have very many. We don't have very many at all. But there are a few little knuckleheads out there who like to poke fun and laugh and tease people about making good grades or whatever. But those same seniors tonight, when they're sitting right here and they walk across this stage and all they get is a white stole that says, "I graduated," and walk back down there, while their classmates are racking up thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to further their educational careers, who's got the last laugh? 10 years down the road, when those students are making six figures or more, and these others are not, who's got the last laugh? So I'm just telling you, hold your heads up high and don't ever be ashamed or embarrassed about making good grades or being successful. Okay? So here today, we're going to recognize our student leadership team. We're going to recognize all A's and all AB honor roll, those students that have made all A's all year, and those that have made all A's and B's all year. And then each one of our teachers are going to come up and do some awards for their classes for highest averages and recognize good citizenship boys and girls. And then we're going to have our juniors to move forward and take their place as the new senior class and the new leaders of our school. Okay? I want to ask Miss Littleton if she would to come up to the stage, and we're going to recognize our student leadership team. And I just want to say something about our student leadership team, and I don't want to steal any thunder from Miss Littleton. But we had an outstanding leadership team. I think we had a total of 30. 16 of them were seniors. 14 of them were underclassmen. But the underclassmen did an outstanding job this year. Truly leaders. We're going to need some of the rest of you to step up next year and take the roles of some of these seniors that are graduating tonight. So step up and be a student leader. Step up and help out. Because a lot of basically the student body voice comes through our student leadership team. And they have a lot of great ideas, things I don't think about. I'm 53 years old. They think differently than me. So I have to get them to keep me, fresh and what's needed and updated. And they're the student voice, and they do that. And we listen to them. Don't always get what they want, but a lot of times they have some great ideas that I never think of. Okay. So I want to say thank you to those of you who served on the student leadership team, and encourage those others of you, get involved. Get involved with what's going on. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Littleton, and we'll recognize our student leadership team.
Good morning. This year, it has been my great pleasure and privilege to sponsor the Isabella High School leadership team. I cannot tell you what an honor it has been to work with this group of young people. As Mr. Porter said, they are leaders among their peers. They are responsible. They have worked very, very hard, and I'll tell you in a minute some of the things that they've done. And it's been for little recognition, little praise. They've worked hard. They've gotten hot and sweaty and worked with younger kids, and they've done fundraisers. And it's very rare today that you can take a group of kids, teenagers, and just say, here's what I need you to do. here's a list, here's your schedule, go do it, and they go do it. But that's what they've done. I always knew I could depend on them, and it has been an honor to work with them this year. In order to be on the student leadership team, they have to go through an interview process, they have to dress professionally, and they have to sit in front of a panel of adults asking them questions. And they came through it remarkably well. You can be very proud of them. Some of the things they've done include the elementary pumpkin patch, the fall festival, ACAP tutoring with our third grade classes, and the Isabella. And I am proud to present them at this time with a certificate of recognition for their hard work. Well, I don't have my list. Amelia Bellew. Isabella Bellew. Allie Bohannon. Colton Conway. Jaden Cummings. Amelia Felstad. No, you gave her Alexis Joyner. Jolene Kelly. Leah Porter. Madeline Ratliff. Morgan Short. Tiffany Smith. Garrett Treywick. And Addison Williams. Can we give them one more round of applause? I do have this list. Mm-hmm. Okay, and to preserve our time, I'm going to call out a honor roll, and I'm going to call them out by grade level. And if you could just hold your applause until I'm finished calling out all the names in that grade level, and then we'll clap for all of them at one time. Students this year who received all A's for the entire 2021-2020 school year will receive an A honor roll certificate. In the 7th grade, that is Olivia Day, Emily Gilliland, Jaden Thomas, and Stella Treywick. Eighth grade, Aiden Rhodes and Laliana Wilson. Ninth grade, Colton Conway, Hannah Holt, and Alexis Joyner. Tenth grade, Lexi Higgins, Dylan Lockhart, and Madison Rhodes. Eleventh grade, Jasmine Brasher, Allie Bohannon, Sissy Kofer, Jaden Cummings, Morgan Short, and Garrett Treywick. The next group of students made all A's or B's for the entire 2021-2020 school year. Again, I will call them out by grade level, and if we could hold our applause until I've called all the names for that grade level. 7th grade, Rachel Cabrera, Donna Sarah Bringus, Brady Franklin, Colton Leonard, Alyssa Porter, Sydney Schneider, and Kylie Teal. 8th grade, Caden Abbott, Katie Blake, Emily Castleberry, Aurelie Gonzalez, Mary Beth Jackson, Tegan Littleton, Lane Mims, Aniston Taylor, Sarah Thomas, Juliet Williams, and Kaylee Wyatt. Ninth grade, Eli Boatwright, Ashlyn Bohannon, Derek Gonzalez, Aaron Harrison, Gustavo Hernandez, Bryce Masson, Noah McMahon, Darius Mollett, Jace Newman, Austin Porter, Lily Porter, and Lindsay Wilson. Tenth grade, Amelia Bellew, Logan Cox, Savannah Evans, Amelia Felstad, Zach Green, Owen Littleton, Alfredo Navia, Leah Porter, Tiffany Smith, Blair Underwood, and Addison Williams. Eleventh grade, Monica Padilla, Olivia Castleberry, Morgan Connell, Joanna Landrum, Haley Matthews, and Mackenzie Williams. 'At this time, I'll turn it over to our English language arts teachers.
Good morning. That'd be great. Yes, I'll do the same. I'm proud this morning to present my Good Citizenship Awards to my homeroom students. The first one is Miss Laura Beth Odell. Always cooperative, always friendly. I love that. And the second one is Colton Conway. Super students. They are a delight to teach. And for my English honors, I'm going to start with ninth grade. For my 9B class, my highest average was Savannah Childress. For my non-honors class, the highest average for world literature was Miss Alexis Joyner. Good work. And from my 11th grade honors class, the highest average goes to Mr. Alex Crumley.
Do you want to go ahead? I have been very blessed throughout my years at Isabella by a lot of people for a lot of reasons. And I thank the Lord all the time that most years I don't have classes I don't want to see. Um, I love dearly my classes this year and many, many years past. It is very difficult to choose good citizens from a homeroom when you have such a great homeroom. My homeroom this year, just like homerooms in the past, made sure that I had breakfast a lot of mornings, made sure that the date got changed on the board, made sure that the lamps were on in the room, and all these little things. If I asked them to run an errand, they just didn't hesitate to volunteer and go. And I've had that in so many homerooms for so long that I don't want to ever start taking it for granted. So know that if you are my 8A homeroom this year, this was a very tough choice. It happens to be this young man's birthday today as well. But Mr. Blake Duckworth has my good citizen for my homeroom for the boy division. So Blake, come on up, please. And don't forget to tell Blake happy birthday at some point today. Emily Castleberry is my good citizen for the girls division in my homeroom. It would take a long time for me to present those 30 certificates for all of you to be good citizens, but I did strongly consider it. That was tough. I'm going to go ahead and do my highest averages now. For 8A English, Miss Juliet Williams had the highest average. For 8B English, Miss Anna Lace Minor. Also for 8B English, little tie going on here, Miss Katie Blake. For my third section of English, Miss Aroxy Aguilera. I also had 3 10th grade classes. So for 10A, highest average is Miss Lexi Higgins. For my second class of 10th graders, Zach Green. Zach may not be here. I'm not sure he made it today. And for my 10C class, Miss Michaela Sewell. While Michaela's still coming on up, I also want to say thank you not only to my regular English classes for this year for just being good to see and nobody being very difficult to deal with. You guys have been amazing. Getting back to normal has been interesting, and I think we've all done a pretty good job of it. My homeroom's been amazing, just like my homeroom always is. And to all the Stampede folks out there who have cheered on our athletes and sports, because I'm the sponsor of that chaos, thank you for your school spirit and all that you do for that as well. I hope everyone has a great summer, and I look forward to working with a lot of you again next year. Now for Ms. Caraway.
um, for good citizenship in the 7th grade, 7B, it is Henry Hank Roberts. And it is Dariana Mendez. They both are excellent students all the way around and always willing to lend a helping hand to all the other students. So that's always helpful to a teacher. In the high averages in 7A, it was really hard because it was almost a 5-way tie, and I let the poems basically in 1 point be the difference. Emily Gillian. Congratulations. For 7B, Henry Hank Roberts. And I have on your awards your special poem. Both of them did excellent poems. Emily did Sunshine. Hank did The Great Stars. And in 7C, the winner did My Horse, was her poem. And she had the highest average by a long ways. Kenley Jackson. In my 11th grade English and literature class, the highest average is Lakin Boyles. Congratulations. In the 11th grade speech class, it was really hard to decide a winner. And this individual told me within this week how this class had broadened their horizons and had made them a better person. They've told me that in a number of different ways during the school year. Her name is Olivia Castleberry. Congratulations.
Let's see, I believe our math department is coming up next.
I had the pleasure of having 11A for my homeroom, and just to say a little bit about them, when we did our homecoming this year, we did a NASCAR theme, and the two that I picked for citizenship, we kind of bounced ideas off of what we were going to do, and one of them said, "My dad has a real race car door at home. Can I send somebody to go get it? I said, sure, Garrett, go get your truck. Let's go get it right now. I said, so we actually had a real live door on our wall. So the first person that we had was Morgan Short for Citizenship. And then the next one, I've already said his name, but he also helped us come up with just about every idea possible. And he was willing to do anything that I asked him to do. And when we was doing the Isabella ad, I had no idea that he did this, but he got together and he had a cooler full of drinks for all of the juniors. So that way we had drinks for everybody because it was a very, very hot day, and I didn't know that he was doing that, but it was very much appreciated. So it was Garrett Trawick. All right, for highest averages, I'm going to start with my 7th grade class. So for 7th grade math, I had a tie. So my first one's going to go to Annabella Collins. And it is also her birthday today, so happy birthday. I couldn't let it get away with Valley Grant. I have to also do it today. My second one also goes to Canley Jackson. For computer science, highest average goes to Lexi Higgins. For Algebra 1, I had a two-way tie. The first one goes to Richard Henderson. Second one goes to Rihanna Paisley. And finally, for Algebra 2, highest average goes to CJ Kofer. And that's all I have.
Good morning. Ms. Arnold could not be here today, so she asked that I present her awards for her. So I'm going to start with the highest average in her 7B math class, and that goes to Kayla Childress. The highest average in Ms. Arnold's Algebra 1 class goes to Madison Hill. The highest average in Ms. Arnold's Algebra 2 class is Morgan Short. Okay, that's all the awards I have for Ms. Arnold. I'm going to move on to my classes. We'll start with 8C math. Highest average goes to Ms. Leliana Wilson. The next is the highest average in 8B math, and that is Tristan Sledge. I actually had a tie in 7th grade accelerated math, And I will just tell you, both of these students had a 100 average for the year, which is very hard to do in any class, especially accelerated math. So this is a really great accomplishment. This award goes to Stella Trawick and Jaden Thomas. The last awards I have are for Good Citizenship for 7C Homeroom. And the two students for this award are Emma Calfee and Taylor Owens. I'm going to turn it over to Miss Perrette now.
Okay, so my highest average in 8 accelerated is Aiden Rhodes. Congratulations. My highest average in my geometry honors class is Alexis Joyner. Congratulations. The highest average in my geometry class is Erin Harrison. Congratulations. The highest average in my Algebra 1 class is Alexis Higgins. My good citizenship boy is Christian Wilson, and good citizenship girl is Savannah Childress. Congratulations to all of those, and we're going to turn it over to the science department now.
Okay, I guess I'll start with my homeroom, which was 10B. Good citizenship girl was Rihanna Pasley. And the good citizenship boy, Junior Lopez. Okay, they said science department, and that is true, but I also teach health. So I'm going to start with the health classes. And first, the highest average in health, 10B, was Savannah Childress. Highest average for 10C was Michaela Sewell. Highest average 10A was Lexi Higgins. And also Tiffany Smith. I forgot I had a tie. And the last health class, 9A, was Alexis Joyner. And in my anatomy and physiology class, I had a tie also, Madeline Ratliff. And Deasia Wilson.
Okay, my name is Mrs. Simmons. I teach 7th, 9th, and 10th grade science, and my homeroom this year was 7A. And for Good Citizenship Girl, I chose Alyssa Porter. And Good Citizenship Boy was awarded to Josh Green. And I think, did he check out? He's already gone home for the day. In 7A Life Science, I had a three-way tie for highest average, and that was Stella Treywick, Rachel Cabrera, and Brady Franklin. Good job. 7B's highest average was Hank Roberts. 7C's highest average was Canley Jackson. 'In 9A Honors Biology, I had a tie between 3 students as well for highest average. Joseph Boatwright, Katie Wilkins, and Connor Patterson. Highest average in 9B Biology was Aaron Harrison. Thank you.
Yeah, I got to read them first. My name is Jessica Mott. I'm going to go ahead and present my certificate of citizenship. And for my homeroom this year, I had 8C, and they have been so great all year at keeping me straight, especially this one. This one goes to Kira Wolf. No, she's right there. And Dade McDonald. He checked out. All right, for my highest averages for 8th grade science in 8A was Aiden Rhodes. For 8B, the highest average was Katie Blake. And for 8C, the highest average was Roxy Aguilera.
For chemistry this year, it was a nail biter. I have two that tied, and it was Miss Lexi Higgins and Miss Riley Simmons for chemistry. And finally, for physical science, Mr. Dallas Hollis. Good job. And now we're going to turn it over to our history department.
Yes. All right. Good morning. Well, I'm going to start with good citizenship as well. My homeroom this year was 8B. Has a lot of good students in it, but I had two pretty clear winners here. The good citizenship award for the female is Danielle Bautista Dominguez. Danielle. And for the boy is Tristan Sledge. Okay, now work on highest averages here. For 8A World History, we had a tie. Both of these students finished the year with 99 averages, which is highly commendable. That's Mr. Aiden Rhodes and Miss Juliette Williams. All right. For 8B World History, Mr. Roger Payne. And for 8C, the highest average is Miss Aroxy Aguilera. Okay. I also taught 10th grade U.S. history this year, and the highest average in the honors class is Miss Lexi Higgins. Okay, in the 10B class for U.S. history, it's Mr. Zachariah Green. I don't believe he's here, though. Okay. And we had, in the 10C class, we had another tie. Both of these students were tied going into their final test this week, and they had a little bit of a friendly competition to see who would do the best on the test. They both ended up tying on that as well, so it was an inseparable tie. We have Mr. Dallas Hollis and Mr. Trenton Collins. Congrats, guys. And now I will turn it over to Miss Murphy.
Good morning. My name is Diamond Murphy. I am going to present my award for 9A World History first for highest averages. I do not have a homeroom, so I don't have a good citizenship award. But my highest average goes to Alexis Joyner. I also teach 11th grade U.S. history, and in 11A, my highest average goes to Adam Maurice. I don't know how to pronounce your last name even to this day, so I'm not going to butcher it. Sorry. I thought that was right, but I didn't want to get it wrong. Sorry. In my 11B U.S. history class, I also had a tie. Both of these ladies finished my class with a 96 average for the year, and they are Jasmine Brasher and Monica Padilla. So now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. McCall.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. I appreciate that. My name's Tom McCall, and I have taught every history subject since I've been here, but 11th grade history. And no, Mr. Porter, I'm not going to ask to do that next year. Thanks for the nod. I want to do something really unusual. Mr. Holt and I serve as sponsors of the Historical Society. And this year, the Historical Society became very involved in student life at this school. From setting up displays for Veterans Day and Columbus Day, overseeing the Veterans Day program, St. Patrick's Day. We went over to the elementary school and we did arts and crafts with the elementary students. And just as a personal note to that, I got more joy out of watching students work with students and watching the older kids mentor and assist the younger kids in elementary school. So I'm going to ask all of the junior, future senior class that are members of the Historical Society to please stand. Would you stand? Would you please give them a hand? And I can see some of them are sufficiently embarrassed, and that was the whole point of that. Yes, that's right, Morgan. Yes, Allie, that's right. What I'd like to do first this morning is to recognize my two students for citizenship. I had 10C homeroom, and it was really hard because I would come in and would have a lot of stuff going on, and I would need paper stapled and somebody go get me a cup of coffee or whatever. And I just want to say that I had an outstanding homeroom, and I really mean that. The two students that I've chosen are, first, Miss Madison Hill. And second, Mr. Trenton Collins. Teaching 7th grade social studies, we have two one-semester classes. They are civics in the fall and geography in the spring. And so what I'm going to do first of all is to recognize the students from first semester civics. And for the highest average in my 7A civics class, it is Mr. Jaden Thomas. In my 7B civics class, I do not know if she was going to be here today. She told me there was a possibility she wasn't going to be. Miss Sadie Hines. Okay. In my 7C civics class, Miss Zoe Paris. Now I want to recognize students in 7th grade geography. I want to say before I give this first award, we had a tie, and we had a tie with the last couple of assignments left, but 7A class is outstanding, and Isabella has a great future. And so these two students I want to recognize now from 7A, a tie, Mr. Jaden Thomas and Miss Stella Treywick. In my 7B geography class, Miss Sadie Hines. Now, finally, I want to recognize students from my 7C class, and I want to make a special comment about that class. As the year went on, particularly in geography, the improvement of every single student in that class was immense. And I'm extremely proud to have been their teacher this year. We also had a tie in that class. The two students are Miss Tori Booth and Miss Canley Jackson. Finally, I taught 9B World History and had some outstanding students in that class. We also had two students that tied for the highest average, Miss Savannah Childress. And finally, Miss Erin Harrison. That concludes the recognition for the history department. We'll now turn it over to Mr. Jordan Creel for Ag and FFA.
We're also going to get Coach Day to come up and present his computer awards as well.
All right, I am Jordan Creel, and let me just say, I know everybody says this, but I'm pretty sure I had the best homeroom this year. I had 10A. This was my first time ever having a homeroom, so it was a learning experience all year, but I had a really good one that kept me on my toes. I only have 2 awards to give out today, which is the Good Citizenship Awards. And so for the boys, would you please come to the stage, Austin Miller. And for the girls, Miss Riley Simmons.
I had 11B homeroom this year. They were the best homeroom class. This was supposed to. Most of the time, half of them were not here. So, for good citizenship, boy, Lane Harmon. And good citizenship girls, Jasmine Brasher. For 8th grade, or 8B, computer science, highest average, Grace Hall and Tristan Sledge. For 8A, computer science, I had 3 with the highest average, Leliana Wilson. Juliet Williams, and Aiden Rhodes. And for 8C, Computer Science, highest average, Camberlyn Pettyjohn. And I'm not doing highest average for keyboarding 7th grade because if you showed up, you probably got a 100.
All right, at this time, I want to introduce Miss Amy Bellew. She has been our guidance counselor for the last several years, and she's going to be retiring at the end of this year. So I'm going to introduce her, and she's going to say a few words to our students. But at this time, y'all help me welcome and give her a big hand for all that she does, Miss Amy Bellew.
Well, good morning. I just want to be able to say first, thank you. It's a privilege to be able to work here, and I have been here for the past 18 years. I went to school here for 13 years, so I've been in this building in some shape, form, or fashion for over 31 years. So I'm very grateful. I do want to say a few things today. I do love Honors Day because it's a time to celebrate all that students, teachers, parents, and administrators and our staff have done this year to make this year great. I really enjoyed the day-to-day. The more I've gotten into my career, I enjoy Honors Day, but I really enjoy the day-to-day workings of being in the school. Getting to say good morning to everyone is always such a joy to me because I think that's how you should start your day, speaking to everyone that you see, telling them good morning. And when I see you, when I would say that, it wasn't just something I would say. I really did mean it. Sometimes I would be looking to see how you were doing, and I could always just tell just in those first few seconds. And I just also want to say that I know that there are some of you who have worked so hard this year that may have not gotten an award today. And I just want to take the time to thank you for all of your hard work too, because it is seen. Some of you missed it by 1 point. And I just want you to know that your hard work does make a difference. One thing I just would want to remind all of our students, the power of always doing the right thing. I don't think we talk about that enough, but there's always such power in always doing the right thing. This is not something I learned at school, but this is something I learned when I first tried to drop out of kindergarten. Most of you don't know that about me, but I tried to drop out of school in kindergarten. But luckily, I had parents who believed in me. They would discipline me and they loved me, and I still misbehaved. So then there were several teachers that were called in to help me, several family members who worked with me, and they realized I needed some help. And that's probably why I wound up in the field of counseling, if you want to really know the truth. During that time, I was able to start going to church. And I'll never forget about hearing about Jesus and how that changed my life, even at 5 years old. Everything my Sunday school teacher said in that class just seemed to help me more than anything else I had done up until that time. I'm so blessed that my schooling wasn't just within the walls of this great place. I received a spiritual upbringing that no one can take away. John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever, even the kindergarten dropout terror of a child, believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life." It wasn't a cakewalk after that, but God was with me, and it made all the difference. I'm still in church. I need to be in church probably every day, but we only have services select times. And I serve there. But I know I need God much more than He needs me. And it is a walk that I'm blessed to have daily. I just want to encourage you to do the right thing every single day. Don't worry about revenge or those who have wronged you, because life is not easy and life is not fair. How you respond in your situation is key, and it is your response that you're responsible for. Just remember how you respond will impact every single person around you. If you decide to be the clown in the class, it prevents others from learning. When others can't learn, then they can't succeed. Be the positive person in your classroom. I have learned this by working with all of the teachers, administration, staff, and coaches in our school. They show respect and they show up. Serve other people. Find ways to give back. Whenever I've been blessed to work on a project, like we had one cleaning up around the school, I got to laugh with other people, work hard, learn new things, and see the results of my labor. God has truly blessed me in those moments, and those are the things that you should chase after. Juniors, I want to speak specifically to you. You have huge shoes to fill for next year. We had several leaders in the class of 2022. I would see them encouraging the younger ones and in each other. I would see them shaking hands with people. They would look people in the eye and speak to them. And they would ask people how they were doing. I'll never forget one particular student would just, not just one, several, would just say, well, I'd say, how are you today? And then they would ask me back. And I could tell that they truly cared. Well, that torch is being passed to you. You are the leaders of the school. If someone copies you, you are responsible, whether you want to believe it or not. For those in this class that are already leading, thank you, and people see it. Keep doing it, because there is honor, integrity, and reward in doing the right thing. Please remember, as a new person comes into my position, they may be brand new to you. I've known some of you before you were even born, and I prayed for some of you even then, and I still do. I definitely benefited from that knowledge. They may do things differently from me, and that's great. They can breathe new life into our schools, so allow them that opportunity. Support them just like you supported me, and I love each and every one of you. And just because I might not be here every single day doesn't mean that I'm not willing to help. And as always, it's a great day to be a Mustang.
Thank you, Miss Bellew. And we do want to wish Miss Bellew the best of whatever her future holds in her retirement. It's very well deserved. And I will say thank you to our students. You are the best of the best. And that's why we have the best school in the county, and there's no doubt about that. And you can look at academics, you can look at athletics, and I believe there's no doubt that Isabella High School is number one. And take pride in that. Take pride in that. I will say that this program today basically is going to conclude our normal part of our school year. We do have third and fourth block today after lunch for those that stick around. But next week is semester exams. That's the only requirement as far as attendance. will be, if you have a semester exam, to come for your semester exams. The buses will be rolling each day, Monday through Thursday, and we'll be leaving at 1 o'clock on Thursday. But for those of you who have a final exam, if you want to check out after your final exam, please make sure to pick up one of those forms in the office and get them signed. Other than that, there's really no attendance requirement next week. We're here if you need to be, but there's no attendance requirement, and all the 9-week grades are in. And as soon as you get your final exam taken, we'll get those averaged in for the yearly average. Now, one of the things traditions that we have, as at the ending of the school year, which is basically today, we allow our juniors to move up and take their seats as seniors. And so in just a minute, we're going to do that. I'm going to let everybody kind of get situated and get positioned and let Miss Littleton get queued up back there. But I can just tell you that I'm extremely excited ending this school year and looking very, very forward to the future and what the future entails for our students, especially these juniors that are going to be officially moving up to be seniors. So, Miss Littleton, are you ready? All right, juniors, let's move forward and take our class seats as seniors. Well, I will say y'all are probably one of the messier groups. All right, y'all take your seats. All right, seniors, y'all look at me for just a second, and then we're going to get y'all out of here. Y'all look at me for just a second. Congratulations on now becoming the senior class of 2023. Let me just say, and I always say this to the group when they move forward, this next year of your lives hopefully will be the best year that you've ever had. That's our goal. But it will be what you guys choose to make of it. So make it great. Make it good. Make it something that you'll always remember in a good way. And make it something that you look back on when you're my age and your parents' age. As something that you'll smile about and be memorable. That's our goal. Okay. It'll go by quickly. I can promise you it goes by very, very quickly. So slow down, enjoy it, don't rush it, cherish it, because once it's gone, it's gone. The group that we'll be meeting with tonight and graduating Monday night, they're going to be taking that next step out into real life. So I just challenge you, make this next year a great year. And be proud to be a Mustang. All right? All of the privileges that go along with being a senior are bestowed upon you now at this time. That includes going straight to the front of the lunch line and being the first ones to get to leave out of the auditorium, etc. I will say that we do have senior honors night tonight. So when we get done with lunch, y'all need to make sure to, help get all this stuff up. And if you're not staying for lunch, you can kind of stick around once we clear the gym out Once we show the auditorium out and do that, okay? But for those of you who are staying around for lunch, make sure that you come back and help out, okay? All right. At this time, I'm going to ask the senior class if they would to please stand. Miss Littleton, if you want to cue up their music again, and then we'll let them march out. Shall I go that way? March out. All right, next year's junior class, if you would, y'all can stand up and exit out and head to the lunchroom. Sophomore class, y'all will head to your third block class. Let me say thank you so much to all of the parents who came today. We certainly appreciate your attendance. Look forward to another great year next year. And thank you so much for coming. You freshmen, let the sophomores get out, please. We'll let the freshmen exit out the back, and then we'll let the eighth graders, at least most